Good day, everyone. Welcome to Real Conservative News. I'm your host, Nathaniel. Rajkumar. Here are today's headlines. Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister Persad-Bissessar has firmly rejected demands from the Steelworkers Union to be included in the reopening of the Point Lisa steel plant, declaring that incoming U.S. investor Ibis Steel is free to hire without union quotas. She's correct. These people bold-faced. Y'all cannot ever do that to Rowley or anybody that Rowley made any agreements with to purchase or to operate the steel plant? Come now, man. In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, a new regional music exchange program with Barbados Julian Bowen Music Academy was officially launched at the National Public Library to foster cultural development and artistic collaboration. And internationally, FBI Director Kash Patel confirms that former FBI Director James Comey is facing multiple federal felony charges following a grand jury indictment over alleged online threats made against the U.S. President Donald Trump. Threats that he denies now. Oh, I never meant it. Yeah, right. Stay tuned for the details. Up next. Prime Minister Persad-Bissessar has firmly rejected demands from the Steelworkers Union of Trinidad and Tobago to be included as a stakeholder, you know, people, in the reopening of the former ArcelorMittal steel plant in Point Lisa. If Boldface was a union, by one association or whatever it is, responding directly to union demands, Persad-Bissessar declared that the U.S.-backed investor Ibis Steel Company operates as a private entity and remains completely free to employ any qualified national it deems fit. Exactly. They want to come and try to bully the Americans. You couldn't bully Rowley, you know, but they want to come and bully the American investors. Nah, stay in your lane and relax yourself. The Prime Minister noted that SWTT had roughly a decade following the plan's initial shutdown to present a viable investment strategy. It didn't do anything, though, emphasizing that the government's primary mandate is securing foreign capital rather than imposing hiring restrictions that could scare, same thing I say, you know, that could scare away potential developers. These people just bold-faced. You want to come and put pressure on this company for them to just say, you know what, we're packing up and going back home. Simple as that. Once again, we need them, they don't need us, you know, people. Oh gosh, boy, relax all yourself. People will get employment. Let them go and apply. The pushback follows statements from SWTT President Timothy Bailey, who called for formal dialogue with both state officials and incoming management to address the future of displaced industry veterans. It's all this sort of cause I said a bacchanal to cause these companies to shut down too, you know. A lot of what you all did even under PNM was wrong, you know. All kind of thing, well, it was trying even with PNM, but you remember Rowley and them is a different kettle of fish, as we say. So they weren't taking bullying at all. You think as though you could bully Kamala and them, but all you're realizing more and more that UNC and PNM are the same. This Kamala is not the Kamala long time. And matter of fact, there are a lot of things I don't like about this new Kamala. They can't bully this Kamala, that's one thing. Bailey argued that roughly 45% of the former workforce remains eager to return to the Point Lisa's facility, pointing to their institutional knowledge as a key asset for the site's revitalization. Well, that is wonderful. Let them go and apply. It's as simple as that. However, Persad-Bissessar dismissed the union's claim to stakeholder status, asserting that setting aside job quotas specifically for previous ArcelorMittal employees would unfairly disadvantage other citizens across Trinidad and Tobago seeking work. Let everybody go and apply, and whoever has more experience, well, they most likely will be chosen. The multi-million-dollar revival project managed locally by Ibis Steel under its U.S. parent company, Pinnacle Steel and Vanadium Corporation, represents a major attempt to rebuild the local heavy manufacturing sector. It's not just about rebuilding the manufacturing sector. It's about rebuilding our economy. Petrotrin is the major backbone of our economy. But this is really important as well. This is going to bring in jobs, meaningful jobs, well-paid jobs for middle-class citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. And that by itself will assist in stimulating the economy. And not to mention, it's going to bring in a lot of forex. US dollars that we need. With site preparation and refurbishment already underway, the U.S. listen to the money these people invest in. $750 million venture is projected to create up to 1,000 permanent positions once fully operational. People spending their money and now you want to come out of nowhere and just bully them? Relax all yourself, boy. That's what you all need to do. Stop making bad for the country, man. You know, PNM patriots. If PNM was in office and these union leaders were making these kind of statements, they would say, stop trying to make bad for the country. Right now, they will support them. And I support them a lot of the times in different cases, but not in this. Not in this. I'm sorry to tell you all that. Despite the labor disputes, government officials maintain that the plant's reopening offers a key boost to national employment and vital trade links. My response, basically what I just said here already, Kams is right. I don't like a lot what Kams doing. I don't like how she has that attorney PNM attorney general. And a man that never supported the UNC. And is destroying the party right now, Roger Alexander. I have a lot of things about Kamala I don't like. But when she's doing good, I will commend her. And in this case, I support her. So Kams is right. None of these locals were capable of or willing to reopen the steel plant. So don't try to bully the American investors. No. You're trying to run them or what? This is a huge opportunity to revive our economy. Don't mess it up, please. Don't mess it up.
Weather report for Trinidad and Tobago on Wednesday, August 19, 2026. The weather forecast features initially sunny skies followed by cloudy intervals, localized showers, and isolated afternoon thunderstorms. Daytime high temperatures are projected to peak around 32 degrees Celsius, dropping to an overnight low of 25 degrees Celsius to 26 degrees Celsius. A high heat index of 34 degrees Celsius is expected due to relative humidity levels reaching up to 95%. Moderate easterly to southeasterly winds will blow between 5 to 35 kilometers per hour. Mild Saharan dust remains present in the atmosphere, so individuals sensitive to air quality should take precautions. Marine conditions show slight to moderate seas in open waters. Expect wave heights between 1.0 meters to 1.5 meters in open waters and under 1.0 meters in sheltered areas.
Regional news now. An official opening ceremony was held on Monday at the National Public Library for an educational and cultural music exchange program, bringing together the Julian Bowen Music Academy and Performing Arts of Barbados and musicians and music educators from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The initiative is designed to use music and the performing arts as tools for education, cultural development, and community engagement, while creating opportunities for participants from both countries to exchange knowledge, skills, and experiences. In her address, Director of Culture Maxine Brown highlighted the important role music plays in everyday life and its ability to connect people across cultural and language barriers. Brown described music as a powerful form of communication. It is, definitely. And it can influence you to do good or bad. Capable of expressing emotions and conveying messages when words may not be enough. Brown also welcomed the Julian Bowen Music Academy and Performing Arts Exchange Program to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, saying it is expected to provide opportunities for learning, artistic development, and cultural exchange, while encouraging young people and aspiring performers to explore and develop their talents. And that's the main people that I want them to focus on, the youths. Get them off the streets, get them out of the gangs.
Be reminded, we live in a world where it's easy for young people to feel isolated and or divided. Yet, the moment a beat drops, those divisions vanish. Today, I want to talk to you about the power of music as it acts as a bridge for our youth, connecting us, connecting them to themselves and to each other. With an M and a U and a S, I and a C. With an M-U-S-I-C, music can change the world because it can change people. As I borrow this song advice from Bomali, you don't know. A profound statement. One thing about music, when it hits you, you feel no pain. Talk to me. Over and over, the studies have proven that music shapes youth by providing a multiplicity of benefits, emotional support, driving identity development, and building social connections, which also boost brain development. This educational cultural music exchange offers 15 days of music, learning, cultural exchange, and friendship through Music Forge in music, culture, friendship, and collaboration. It is not too late to be part of this program, especially if you have a love and passion for music. Why should you join? Well, let's reference some of the key benefits of music, some of which I've already alluded to. Why should you be a part of this program if you're not already involved? This program improves your skills and confidence. You will definitely make new friends, get to perform in unforgettable concerts. This is your chance. Get involved, be engaged, and share in an incredible and unforgettable Caribbean experience.
International news now. Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, Director Kash Patel confirmed that former FBI Director James Comey is facing multiple felony charges that carry a maximum penalty of decades in federal prison. I find they should send him to go and spend some time with Diddy. Oilman Diddy, boy. The criminal proceedings stem from a grand jury indictment detailing an alleged online threat directed towards the President of the United States, Donald Trump. According to Patel, the case was built on evidence presented to the grand jury showing that Comey posted a statement threatening the president's life. We all saw it before deleting the post because he knew what he did was crap and issuing a public apology shortly after. It doesn't matter. Your message was already conveyed and thousands of people saw it and radicals saw it, and it could have inspired them to go and carry out the threat that you made. And Trinidadians were saying, so what were you talking about? You were defending the Hadiths and recently. That was a personal conversation, people. You all really need to start to use some kind of common sense, you know. That was a personal conversation. They never went online and called for anyone to be murdered. That is totally different. Totally different. So going online and actually calling on people to murder anyone, including the leaders of our nations. FBI leadership emphasized that Comey will face the judicial process directly as the matter advances to trial. Addressing the severity of the case, Director Patel reaffirmed that the FBI approaches all threat assessments with the maximum degree of law enforcement resources. He stressed that threats of violence, whether targeting the president or a private citizen, and I love how he said that, because it's always, you're not supposed to be inciting any violence against a private citizen as either, are met with equal investigative rigor across the board. I find they should be investigating Candace Owens too. She isn't inciting violence, but the kind of false allegations she's making against a lot of individuals outside there, something is definitely up with that woman. The Bureau maintained that no individual is exempted from prosecution regarding threats to cause physical harm or death. It's a surprise that Biden didn't give him a pardon to him, framing the indictment as a standard application of federal law enforcement standards. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and U.S. Special Envoy Jared Kushner agreed that there will be no redeployment of IDF forces out of Gaza or reconstruction until Hamas is completely disarmed and demilitarized. That is good news. It's good to see that Trump is compromising with Netanyahu, because Netanyahu is finally taking a stand and saying, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing this. I'm not pulling out of Gaza. I'm not pulling out of Lebanon. I'm not pulling out of even Syria. You cannot tell me what to do when it pertains to trying to protect my citizens of my country. So now, USA is the one that has to be compromising with Israel. Both sides agreed to establish 2 working groups focusing on the prompt demilitarization of the territory and addressing public health and sanitation issues. You can't depend on these other Arab states to come and do that, you know. If America wants to come and help Israel to demilitarize the zone, well then fine. Those other Arab countries ain't gonna do one crap. A Board of Peace official noted that Israel retains its full right to self-defense if Hamas turns to terrorism, violence, or attempts to rearm. That is why you need to make sure that they are disarmed and that they are removed from that territory as well, because as long as they stay in the population, there will always be attempts to attack Israeli officials, IDF military force officers, military officers, and so forth. It will never end. These people were born and they were indoctrinated since young to despise Israelis and Israel, and therefore they will never give up the agenda to utterly destroy the Jewish state.
Psalm 38, 1-4. A plea for mercy under the weight of guilt. Lord, do not rebuke me in your anger or discipline me in your fierce wrath. Your arrows have pierced me deeply, and your hand presses down heavy upon me. Because of your indignation, my body is broken and sick. Because of my sin, there is no health or rest in my bones. My guilt has completely overwhelmed me, sinking me like a burden far too heavy for me to bear.
Folks, that brings us to the end of today's news report. Thanks again to everyone who continues to support my content. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay blessed and stay safe most of all. In Jesus' name.